Detective Sarah Mitchell had seen it all in her 15 years on the force. From petty thefts to gruesome homicides, nothing shocked her anymore. But this case was different. It wasn't the brutality of the murder that kept her up at night, it was the impossibility of it. James Harper, a wealthy businessman, had been found dead in his penthouse suite, his throat slashed with surgical precision. The room was spotless, no signs of a struggle, and the security footage from the building showed only one person entering the room. Harper himself. Yet the coroner confirmed that the time of death was 10:15 p.m. and Harper had been seen dining at a high-end restaurant across town at that exact moment. As Sarah stared at the crime scene photos on her desk, she could not shake the feeling that something wasn't right. The case seemed airtight, but it also felt too perfect. The suspects, a group of Harper's business rivals and former associates, each had alibis that checked out. They were all seen in different parts of the city, captured on surveillance cameras, or verified by credible witnesses. But Sarah knew better than to trust appearances. She had a gut feeling that one of these alibis was fabricated, but she had no idea how. The technology didn't exist to be in two places at once, or did it? She decided to start with the last person to see Harper alive, his business partner, Daniel Zebedir Reed. Daniel had been at a charity dinner gala that night, surrounded by hundreds of witnesses. His alibi was as solid as they come. But something about his demeanor during the initial questioning bothered Sarah. He was too calm, too rehearsed. Sarah visited the gala venue to speak with the event staff. One of the servers, a young woman named Emily, remembered Daniel clearly. He was charming, always smiling, but she hesitated. But what? Sarah pressed. There was this one weird moment. I was serving drinks near the balcony and I saw him standing alone, just staring out into the city. He looked different, like he wasn't really there. It was only for a minute, but it gave me chills. Sarah's curiosity piqued. She requested the security footage from the gala and spent hours combing through it. At 10:15 p.m., the time of Harper's murder, Daniel was indeed on the balcony, his back to the camera. But as she rewound the footage, she noticed something odd. At 10:14 p.m., Daniel had been inside, talking to a group of people. Then, in less than a minute, he was outside on the balcony. The timeline didn't add up. Determined to get to the bottom of it, Sarah dug into Daniel's past. She discovered that Daniel had once been a close friend of Harper's, but their relationship soured after a failed business venture. There were whispers of betrayal, money lost, and grudges held. But that wasn't all. Daniel had a sister, Lisa, who was a renowned scientist working on cutting edge holographic technology. Sarah's heart raced as she pieced the puzzle together. Could Daniel have used his sister's technology to create a hologram of himself at the gala while he slipped away to commit the murder? It sounded far fetched, but it was the only explanation that fit the facts. She tracked down Lisa, who worked at a tech firm on the outskirts of the city. When Sarah arrived, Lisa greeted her with a polite smile, but there was a weariness in her eyes. I'm here about your brother, Sarah said, cutting to the chase. I believe he used your technology to create an alibi for himself the night James Harper was murdered. Lisa's face paled and she grimaced around nervously. I I don't know what you're talking about. Don't lie to me, Lisa. I've seen the footage. I know he wasn't really at that gala. You're the only person who could have helped him pull this off. For a moment, Lisa remained silent, her hands trembling. Then she sighed, defeated. I didn't want to do it. He said it was just to teach Harper a lesson, to scare him. I
Sarah
never
felt a
thought
mix
he'd
of
actually kill
relief
him and dread. She had been right, but now she had to bring a murderer to justice. You need to tell me everything, she urged. Lisa explained that she had developed a prototype holographic projector that could create a realistic 3 dimensional image of a person. Daniel had convinced her to use it to create a hologram of him at the gala while he sneaked out to confront Harper. The projector was hidden in the balcony, where it cast the image of Daniel standing there, staring out at the city. Sarah realized the enormity of the situation. This was more than just a simple murder case. It was a technological breakthrough that could change the world, for better or worse. Armed with this new information, Sarah confronted Daniel at his office. He was confident at first, smirking as she laid out the evidence. But when she mentioned Lisa's confession, his face twisted with anger. She had no right, he shouted. Harper deserved what he got. He ruined me, stole everything I worked for. I just wanted him to pay. And now you will, Sarah replied coldly. For the murder of James Harper, you're under arrest. As Daniel was led away in handcuffs, Sarah couldn't help but feel a pang of sadness. In his quest for revenge, Daniel had destroyed not only Harper, but also himself. And now, a promising piece of technology was tainted by bloodshed. Later, as she filled out her report, Sarah reflected on the case. The world was changing, technology advancing faster than anyone could keep up with. But no matter how sophisticated the tools became, one truth remained. Here was no such thing as a perfect crime. And in the end, the perfect alibi had been the one thing that unraveled it all.